Welcome to another episode of How It Be with Danny G. Today we're going to talk about scrap, and more specifically how we're cutting it up and how we're sorting it so that we can get the most from our value for our scrap. So this was the old way I used to do it, which is just setting up a 4-foot table, saving up copper forever from the jobs on service jobs that I do, and little bits at a time, and then on an off day just kind of spending hours out here cutting it up. But I think I have developed a new idea, a new way to do it. This is the old way, using the old trusty Porter cable that I picked up years ago. I'd put a bunch of scrap up on the table and cut it up. I would put buckets around here, one for number 1, number 2, brass, garbage, and steel. So that way, as I was sorting, boom, I could just kind of keep a flow going. That's the old way of doing it. I haven't actually done this in probably over a year. I've been kind of saving up the copper, but I did develop a new way. Let me show you how that looks. Okay, so this is the scrap station right here. This is where most of the magic is going to happen with the Swag off-road table that I purchased. So I kind of built me a table, maybe 5 or 6 foot long, kind of for sorting. So the plan is, end of the day, you come in, you got some scrap, kind of throw it over here on the table, and then whenever I get a few minutes, then I see it piling up or whatever, I can go ahead and cut it up and throw it in the proper bins. So this is what that kind of looks like right here. Well, so this is a Milwaukee portaband, corded, and that was donated to me by a good friend in the local community, my plumbing world. And then this is the Swag off-road table that is built for this. So, and it actually comes with a foot pedal. So, the way that it operates is yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Right there, some of that, a little bit of that, yeah. So, that's pretty much what it is, and then we go ahead and sort it out. We've got our number 1 or number 2, and oh yeah, got our hose here, trusty hose for when we want to clean up the mess. We can go ahead and just table. Yeah. How it be with Danny G. Gotta love it. So that is where the vacuum is. Rigid vacuum that I got free whenever I bought my 1500 rotting machine. They sent me that vacuum. 5.0 horse. So I went ahead and just kind of put that up and out of the way, ran me a switch and an outlet to control it, and just makes it nice and convenient to be able to have a nice vacuum attached already and ready to clean up. Keep a neat area. Okay, so now without any further ado, kind of show you how it operates. So we come over here and we pick up some scrap. This is going to be pretty much all number 2. Items like this right here, most of that is number 1 except for that fitting. So Most of that is going to be number 1, except for the fitting. Number 2, number 1. So, pretty much same with most of that. Okay, and of course, I'll clean up any of the shavings. Unless we forget. Let's see here. Sometimes you may have something, a valve or something that's threaded that you need to get. You want to put that in the brass pile. And of course, first thing I'm going to do is cut the handle off because my scrap place does not like the scrap company does not like the metal handles when it comes to the brass. So I always cut that off. So this right here was custom made by Steven Soyden, and I'll tell you what, let's watch this thing in action. So basically just put your piece up in here. Camera. This thing works really good though. And once you get it, I'm kind of trying to do it left-handed here for you to be able to see it. But nice to have one of those mounted nearby. Throw that in the steel bucket, throw that in the brass bucket, and we're good to go. Yes, that this is actually a rigid jaw that he cut off of a rigid wrench and welded it to a plate. So sent me that to test out, and it's actually a good quality one. They're pretty tight. Goodness. That's a testament to this. He did a couple prototypes that were on using a cheaper wrench, and that didn't do as well in testing. So he went ahead and went right on up to a good beefy wrench right there with a rigid. Highly recommend. Get a hold of Steven Soyden, and he will work with you on making one of those and shipping it out to you. So that's my method of cutting and sorting scrap. I just started using it. I've got a whole bunch of copper saved up that I'm about to start cutting up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take my copper in and go on vacation somewhere. So that's what we do. We get to enjoy our time with our families, and this is one of the ways that I get to do that is with some copper money. So. Also keep these gloves that have a cut spot on them. Keep those handy right there as a reminder, because the very first time I went to use it, I followed the piece through and it nipped the glove and cut the glove. So I did not get cut out of it. Kind of fortunate, but it was one of those things that yeah, I just go ahead and keep those gloves there just to keep me a good reminder to watch your hands on this thing. So go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, How It Be with DannyG. So anyhow, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.